A season hangs on one mistake. October 13th, 2001. The Yankees are on the edge of elimination, down 2 games to none. One more loss, and October is over. Network Associates Coliseum feels like it is holding its breath. The scoreboard says 1-0, and that might as well be one heartbeat. Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. Jeremy Giambi is on first. Terrence Long rips a ball into the right field corner. Somewhere in the stands, a father leans forward with his son beside him, and neither of them says a word. They do not have to. They both know what is coming. That runner is going to try to score from first, and if he scores, the game changes, the season changes. And then a shortstop becomes the calm inside the chaos. Chapter 1. The quiet leader you trust without noticing. When people talk about Derek Jeter, they usually start with the highlight reel, but leadership is rarely a speech. It is usually a habit, a small choice repeated so many times that one day, everybody trusts you without realizing when it started. Jeter was that kind of player. Not loud. Not dramatic. Not looking for the moment. He was the guy who ran hard when the play was not coming to him. The guy who was where he needed to be, even when it was not his spot. The guy who treated the boring stuff like it mattered. And if you have coached kids, you have seen it. The player who lines up right in warm-ups. The player who backs up the throw. Nobody expects to get past the cutoff. The player who listens the first time, then proves it with reps. That is not just baseball. That is character, showing up early. Chapter 2. October, with a different weight. The 2001 postseason carried a different kind of pressure. New York had been shaken, and baseball did not fix any of that. But it gave people something familiar to hold on to for a couple hours, a routine. A reason to sit together. A reason to breathe. And here were the Yankees, facing Oakland, down 0-2 in the series. Lose Game 3, and it is over. That night was tight from the first pitch. Mike Mussina was dealing. Jorge Posada hit the only home run of the game. The Yankees carried that 1-0 lead like it was fragile. Like if you handled it the wrong way, it breaks. Chapter 3. The moment begins, the double and the green light. Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. Giambi singles. He takes his lead at first. Terrence Long hits a sharp double into the right field corner. Right fielder Shane Spencer gets to it and comes up throwing, and that is when the third base coach has to make a decision. Hold him and keep the inning alive, or send him and tie the game. Giambi gets the wave. He is coming. If you have ever watched a runner around third, you know the feeling. It is the whole stadium doing math in real time. Do we have the arm? Do we have the relay? Do we have the tag? Spencer's throw is long, fast, and it is not where it needs to be. It clears the cutoff man. It keeps going. It dribbles down the first base line in foul territory. And for half a heartbeat, it looks like chaos. The kind of chaos that ends seasons. Chapter 4. The flip. Instinct. Built by repetition. Here is what a lot of people missed. On a relay play, the cutoff man is not just a target. He is the calm inside the storm. And on that play, the calm was Derek Jeter. He takes off from shortstop and runs across the infield like he is chasing a loose ball in practice. He reaches the rolling throw about 30 feet from home, near the first baseline, and in one motion, he cradles it and flips it backhanded to Jorge Posada. Not an overhand throw, not a crow hop. A flip, soft hands, fast mind, no panic. Posada catches it and swipes the tag. Giambi does not slide. He tries to avoid it, and the tag finds his leg, out, and the stadium erupts, not because it was flashy, but because it was pure. Effort meeting preparation, instinct built from reps. A leader doing the job no one asked him to do, because the moment demanded it. Chapter 5. Why it mattered leadership shows up before the title. After the inning, people asked Jeter about it, and in typical Jeter fashion, he did not make it bigger than it was. He talked like it was his responsibility, like it was part of the job. That is leadership. Not turning the moment into a performance, not needing credit. Just doing what is required, then moving on to the next pitch, and here is the key detail. Jeter was not officially the captain yet. That came later, on the 3rd of June, 2003, when the Yankees named him captain. But by the time that title arrived, the clubhouse already knew who he was. The captain title did not create his leadership. It confirmed it. Chapter 6. The Ripple. One play buys one more night. The Yankees win that game 1-0, and they stay alive. One run, one play, one more day. And because they stayed alive, the city kept baseball a little longer. Sometimes people talk about sports like it is just entertainment. But if you have ever sat in a stadium with your kid, you know better. You remember the feeling? You remember how the game gave you a place to be together when the world felt heavy. That is why flip is not just a highlight. It is a memory marker. A moment where effort, timing, and responsibility all met in the same place. Chapter 7. The Coach's Take. The leadership lesson every kid can learn. Now I want to talk to the parents and coaches for a second. Most kids think leadership looks like a speech, or a patch on the jersey, or being the best player on the field. But leadership is usually simpler than that. Leadership is running to the spot you are needed, even if it is not your spot. It is doing the drill like it matters. It is being the third cutoff man in spring training. It is learning the boring stuff, because the boring stuff saves games. Because one day, that exact re might show up with the season on the line, and you will not have time to become someone new. You will only have time to be who you practiced being. So if you are a dad playing catch in the yard, here is the real lesson. When you teach your kid to hit, you are teaching baseball. When you teach your kid accountability, you are teaching life. Tell them this. Run hard when nobody claps. Be the teammate who covers the gap. And when pressure hits, do not panic. Move. That is what Jeter did. Closing. Words from Coach Wiz of Fathers of the Diamond. People can argue about when someone becomes a leader. Some will point to the day Jeter was officially named captain. Some will point to championships. Some will point to walk-off moments. But when I look at October 13, 2001, I see something I recognize as a coach and as a father. I see a player who did not wait to be asked. I see someone who trusted the work. I see someone who chose responsibility over spotlight. That is leadership. And that is why dads love baseball. Because the game keeps teaching the same lesson in 1,000 different ways. When the moment comes, you do not rise to it. You fall back on what you practiced. If this story reminded you baseball is more than a game, subscribe to Fathers of the Diamond. Every week, we tell the stories that live in the space between family and the field. And if you have ever seen real leadership in a ballpark, tell me about it in the comments. The best baseball stories do not belong to the pros. They belong to families.